Machines are operating, lights are on, and there are deer in the yard. The evening farm is just as busy as a fair, with the exception that it is teeming with mouse deer. Please don't forget to give this a like, and let's go on an adventure together. The mouse deer, which is also referred to as chevretain in English, is the smallest species of deer that belongs to the family of deer. They have delicate bodies, legs that are narrow legs, and a weight that can range anywhere from 1.5 to 7 kilograms, depending on the species. In spite of the fact that they are called mice, they are not rodents at all. Rather, they are hoof animals that have the look of miniature deer. In order to better blend in with their surroundings in dense forest habitats, they have fur that is dark brown in color and frequently has white spots running along both sides of their bodies. Mouse deer are largely nocturnal, live alone or in couples, and are quite shy. They are also known to dwell alone. Not only does this assist them evade natural predators, but it also makes nighttime farming techniques, like as those used in Australia, more suitable. The contemporary livestock systems that are used on large-scale mouse deer farms in Australia are designed to maximize the utilization of both space and information technology. It is common for them to live alone, and they are primarily active at night. When they are being grown in captivity, their enclosures need to be designed to resemble natural surroundings. These enclosures should have sufficient space for each individual, as well as flora, soft soil, and a source of clean water. It is possible for mouse deer to grow in a healthy manner if the temperature is between 22 and 28 degrees Celsius and the humidity is between 70 and 80%. There is a clear division of the entire farming area into distinct zones, which are determined by the age and gender of the deer. This makes management much simpler and ensures that the deer grow in an even manner. These farms are notable for the fact that they use cutting-edge technology in the breeding process. The natural routines of mouse deer are taken into consideration while designing automated feeding systems, which are designed to function during the night. Mice deer are exceptionally little creatures that inhabit tropical forests. They consume a wide variety of foods and are primarily herbivores. These creatures take pleasure in consuming young leaves, flowers, mature fruits, mushrooms, and even tree bark on occasion. In addition, mouse deer will occasionally swallow small insects or tree sap in order to supplement the amount of protein that they consume. The most of the time, they go out to forage at night, making use of their acute sense of smell to locate food in the dark. To facilitate digestion, mouse deer chew in a deliberate and methodical manner. You might not be aware of this fact, but a mouse deer can consume a quantity of food that is equivalent to 1/3 of its body weight. Due to their diminutive size, mouse deer only take a limited amount of food on a daily basis, which ranges from approximately 100 to 150 grams, depending on the conditions in which they are living. Should you have any inquiries, please leave a 0. If you were unaware, mouse deer, despite their diminutive size, exhibit a remarkable degree of autonomy from a very young age. The reproductive pattern of mouse deer, which is the smallest species in the trigule family, is distinctive and has been adapted to the conditions of tropical forest habitats. It is because of the plentiful food availability in their habitat that they are able to reproduce throughout the entire year without having a specific mating season. It takes female mouse deer around 4 to 5 months to become pregnant, which is a relatively short gestation period that contributes to the maintenance of population levels. Typically, just one offspring is produced by each litter, and twins are quite uncommon. They are able to stand and walk within a few hours of birth, which increases their chances of survival against risks such as predators. However, newborns are already quite developed when they are born. Due to the fact that mouse deer are either solitary or live in couples, the principal responsibility for the care of the young is with the mother. At the age of 3 to 4 months, the young are able to become self-sufficient and depart from their mother in order to discover their own territory. When mouse deer are reared in Australia, they are ready to be sold between the ages of 6 and 8 months. At this point, they have reached a level of maturity that allows them to be transported or sold effectively. In order to reduce the likelihood of causing a panic, it is recommended that mouse deer be captured under low light conditions, such as at night or in environments with dim lighting. Because of the low light, they are less stressed, which makes it simpler to photograph some of them. After being captured, the mouse deer are placed in bags that are packed with fresh leaves and allow air to circulate. This provides them with a sense of safety and comfort while they are being transported. Depending on its size and the state of its health, the price of a mouse deer can range anywhere from $30 to $50 in the United States and overseas markets, including China. There is no way that you can miss out on the meals that are produced from mouse deer meat if you are a cuisine connoisseur. Despite the fact that it is not readily available in contemporary cuisine, mouse deer flesh is a distinctive source of food in certain Southeast Asian countries where this species is found. Mouse deer meat is often prepared in a straightforward manner in order to maintain its natural flavor. It is soft, lean, and has a mild flavor. One of the most common approaches is to grill or steam the meat while adding spices such as lemongrass, ginger, garlic, and kaffir leaves. This helps to eliminate any stench and enhance the meat's already excellent aroma. Following a thorough cleaning process, the meat is then marinated for an extended period of time, sometimes with fish sauce and honey, in order to impart a light and sweet flavor. Because of their diminutive size, each mouse deer only produces a modest amount of flesh, which is why the dish is frequently regarded as a fine dining experience. Beyond their petite stature and elusive habits, mouse deer have developed a fascinating set of behavioral adaptations that make them one of the most remarkable mammals in the tropical understory. One of their most extraordinary traits is their ability to remain completely motionless for extended periods when threatened, a defense strategy known as freeze behavior. Unlike many prey animals that flee at the first sign of danger, the mouse deer relies on this stillness to blend seamlessly into its surroundings. Combined with their mottled fur patterns and low body profile, this allows them to disappear into the forest floor, escaping the notice of predators like civets, snakes, and birds of prey. In fact, their startle response is so finely tuned that even the snapping of a twig can send them into a trance-like stillness, during which their breathing slows and muscles lock to avoid detection. But when flight becomes necessary, their reflexes are lightning fast. Mouse deer can dart through narrow gaps between trees or dive into burrows and thick roots that larger animals can't access. Interestingly, in the wild, mouse deer are known to follow fixed, narrow pathways, or runways, through the forest undergrowth, which they mark subtly using secretions from scent glands located near their jaws. These scent trails not only help them navigate dense terrain at night, but also serve as a quiet communication system between individuals, particularly during mating season or when territory is being contested. Scientists studying these trails have found that the paths are often reused for years, worn smooth by tiny hooves over time. In recent years, researchers have also begun to unlock the mouse deer's unique vocalizations, which are surprisingly varied for such a small creature. Although they are generally quiet, they produce a series of high-pitched squeaks and low clicks when startled, separated from a mate, or alerting to nearby danger. When mothers and their offspring interact, soft grunting noises are often heard, believed to be a reassuring call to keep the fawn close by in the dark. Adding to their mysterious aura is the rare phenomenon of communal salt-licking behavior, occasionally observed in wild populations. In certain mineral-rich patches of forest, mouse deer from different territories will cautiously converge under the cover of night to consume naturally occurring salts from the soil. These spots are vital for maintaining health, especially for breeding females who require higher mineral intake during gestation and lactation. Wildlife cameras have captured astonishing footage of multiple mouse deer gathered silently around these sites, an almost ghostly assembly of miniature deer moving like shadows. Even more surprisingly, mouse deer are now playing a role in forest regeneration studies. Ecologists have observed that as they forage, they often disperse seeds of fruiting plants across the forest floor, contributing to biodiversity. Their small size allows them to access low-growing fruits and mushrooms that other herbivores might miss, and their droppings often contain viable seeds, helping replant forest species. In this way, the mouse deer functions as a tiny, unsung gardener of the jungle, quietly supporting the health of its ecosystem. Due to their rarity and unique behavior, mouse deer have also become subjects of advanced conservation breeding programs, particularly in Southeast Asia and parts of Africa. Using non-invasive monitoring methods like camera traps and DNA sampling from feces, researchers are beginning to build family trees and track individual animals in both wild and captive settings. The goal is to better understand their social dynamics, genetic diversity, and potential for reintroduction into protected habitats. Mouse deer have even begun to inspire biomimetic robotics research. Their silent, spring-loaded gait, adapted to slippery leaf litter and tangled roots, is being studied by engineers developing small, all-terrain exploratory robots. These prototypes aim to mimic the mouse deer's low center of gravity and agile movements for navigating confined spaces, such as in search and rescue missions or subterranean exploration. In the age of industrial farming, this tiny, ancient animal still holds secrets worth uncovering, from survival strategies millions of years old to insights that could shape the future of ecological research and robotics. If you've ever overlooked the humble mouse deer, it may be time to take a second look at this silent master of the forest floor.